Hi everyone. I wish I could be with you in person as we start the school year. Before I get started, I need to share with you though a little bit about my summer. It's been a very difficult one. Just when I start getting hope that things are getting better, there is suddenly a slump. I feel like I should know this because I've been through it before. There have been some really good moments where I thought, okay, maybe we're finally turning a corner. And then seemingly out of nowhere, things take a pretty significant step backward. I've tried to stay positive. I've told myself to be patient and trust the process. But there are days when you just sit here and think, how did we get here? I'm talking, of course, about the Seattle Mariners season. Sorry for the misdirection. I'm actually doing just fine. I want to give you an update about my situation toward the end of the message. But right now, I want to talk about something much more exciting, the start of another school year. I love this time of year. There's something special about the beginning of a school year. We come back with energy, optimism, and the belief that this can be the best year yet. It's a little like baseball and spring training. Everyone believes they have a chance to win the World Series. And for the record, I still hope for the Mariners. The playoffs are still within reach. But I have even more hope that we can accomplish together at OHS this year. Recently, I went through my high school yearbook and discovered that I was in 14 different pictures. Kind of painful to look at, but there were 14 pictures. I was involved in tennis, cross country, ASB leadership, junior statesman, service club, spirit club, and several other activities. Basically, I wanted to do everything and succeed at everything. I've actually carried that same tendency to be over-involved throughout my adult life, but I'm realizing something. Sometimes the best way to accomplish more is to focus on fewer things and do them really well. And I think that lesson applies to us as a school. As educators, you have your own goals. Your department has goals. The district has goals. We have our own school improvement plan. You have individual student needs, professional goals, curriculum requirements, and countless other things competing for your attention. So this year I want to simplify our task and nest our goals around one primary area. There's one thing I want us to focus on together. It's this, that we work together in our professional learning teams to develop inclusive practices that help more of our students learn, engage, and succeed than ever before. That is our opportunity for growth and improvement. We know that students don't all learn the same way. Some students need more scaffolding. Some students need more choices. Some need a different way to demonstrate what they know. Some need us to build stronger relationships before they are ready to engage academically. Some benefit from AVID strategies, some benefit from culturally responsive education, and others benefit from Universal Design for Learning, or UDL. The point isn't that we need to do all these things all the time. The point is that we need to keep asking ourselves what our students need. And then we work together to figure out how can we respond. That is where I see the PLTs being so important. None of us has to figure it all out alone. A teacher may try something that doesn't work exactly as planned. Another teacher may have a strategy that reaches a student in a completely different way. Someone else may notice something in the data that the rest of us haven't seen. That is the power of working together. Our goal isn't perfection, our goal is improvement. And just like a baseball team, we're going to have some good stretches and some difficult stretches. Some strategies that will work beautifully, others won't. When something isn't working, we can make an adjustment. We can try something different. We can learn from one another. And then we can keep going. That reminds me of one of my favorite people and teachers, my tennis friend, Jody Rush. Jody is in his early 80s, and we have been playing tennis together for about 25 or 30 years now. He is probably the smartest tennis player I've ever played against. When he was younger, Jody was ranked just behind Stan Smith in California. Stan Smith, of course, was at one point considered one of the best players in the world, if not the best player. Jody eventually became the lead tennis pro at Seattle Tennis Center, where there is actually a giant caricature of him today in the club. We met on the courts and have played regularly ever since. Several years ago, we played 5 sets of tennis. Going into it, I kept thinking, I'm going to wear this old guy down. Of course, he's probably younger than I was then, but it didn't exactly work out because his core was so strong, and he actually seemed to get better as the match went on. But that's what I admire most about Jody. It's just how good he is. It's never that he keeps trying to get better. About a decade ago, Jody asked me to play with a younger player named Colton, who was the same age as Sam when he was in middle school. Colton had tremendous ability, and today he's ranked 138th in the world. Actually, he's playing today in the US Open qualifying. To me, it's a tribute to Jody's great teaching. But what impresses me most about Jody is that he works with players of every level. He doesn't just teach everyone the same way. He finds ways to meet people where they are. He helped me change my serve. In my 50s, he taught me how to hit a drop shot. And almost every time we play, he makes me think differently about my game. I get better because someone is willing to work with me, learn with me, and help me make an adjustment. It isn't just one size fits all. That's what I hope we can do for our students this year. We don't need every teacher to use the same strategy. We don't need every PLT to come up with the same solution. But we do need to be willing to ask, who isn't being reached? What might they need from us? And what can we change together to help them succeed? That is what inclusive practices means to me. It means refusing to accept that a student simply isn't engaged or isn't capable without asking what we might do differently. It means looking at our practice, learning from one another, and making adjustments. And it means believing that every student who walks through our doors deserves a path to success. So as we begin this year, let's keep it simple. Let's show up for one another. Let's use our PLTs to learn from each other. Let's try things. Let's make adjustments. And let's keep finding ways to reach students who may not have been reached by traditional approaches. Because just like in baseball, tennis, and in life, we aren't going to get everything right the first time. But if we keep working together, keep learning, and keep making adjustments, we can make this one of the best years OHS has ever had, if not the best. And hopefully the Mariners can figure out some things along the way too. I also want you all to know out there how much your support has meant to me this summer and last spring. I have felt incredibly fortunate to work with you all who have been so supportive and caring. Eileen and I are currently living in Seattle in this beautiful setting. As you can see in this video, I'll be at the UW hospital preparing for my stem cell transplant. I'll be in Seattle getting treatment and recovering until about November, and looking forward to starting around the new year. I want to say how excited I am, though, to begin another school year with all of you and look forward to seeing you all in person. Welcome back, and go Bears. Let's have a great one.